A calm morning in Washington, D.C., the heart of the United States, a city bustling with life, politics, and history. But on January 29, 2025, tragedy struck the nation's capital in an unimaginable way. A devastating mid-air collision between a passenger jet and a military Black Hawk helicopter turned the sky into a scene of horror. In mere seconds, both aircraft plunged into the Potomac River, leaving a stunned nation searching for answers. How could such a catastrophe unfold in the highly controlled airspace of Washington, D.C.? What went wrong, and could it have been prevented? Aviation disasters are rare, but when they occur, they leave an unforgettable mark on history. This tragic event raised pressing questions about air traffic safety, response coordination, and the risks of operating different types of aircraft in the same airspace. In this documentary, we take a deep dive into the events of that fateful day, the emergency response, and the ongoing investigation that seeks to uncover the truth. The incident. It was an ordinary day at Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport, until disaster struck. At approximately exact time, a PSA Airlines Bombardier CRJ700, operating as American Airlines, was approaching the airport when it unexpectedly collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. The impact was catastrophic. The air was filled with debris, fire, and chaos as both aircraft spiraled out of control and crashed into the icy waters of the Potomac River. Eyewitnesses watched in shock as plumes of smoke filled the sky. One moment, everything was normal. The next, there was an explosion in the air and the plane just dropped, recalled one horrified onlooker. Initial reports suggested possible communication failure or miscalculated flight paths. A detailed reconstruction of the event using CGI animation helps illustrate the tragic sequence of events leading to the collision. The response. Within moments, emergency response teams were mobilized. Coast Guard units, fire rescue teams, and aviation authorities rushed to the crash site in a desperate attempt to save lives. Survivors were pulled from the wreckage, while divers braved the freezing waters of the Potomac to recover passengers and crew. The black boxes of both aircraft became the focal point of the investigation, holding crucial data that could explain what led to the crash. In an exclusive interview, a first responder shares the intensity of the mission. "We knew we had seconds to act. Every moment counted." The nation watched as rescuers worked tirelessly, battling time and the elements to retrieve survivors and victims from the wreckage. The investigation. As the shock subsided, the investigation into the crash began. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, launched an inquiry, analyzing flight records, air traffic control communications, and radar data. Aviation experts examined all possible factors, mechanical failure, human error, and weather conditions, to determine the cause of the disaster. Mid-air collisions are extremely rare, especially in such a controlled environment, stated an aviation safety specialist. This accident raises serious concerns about airspace coordination and protocol adherence. Investigators faced immense pressure to uncover the truth and ensure that such a tragedy would never happen again. The aftermath. In the days following the crash, the nation mourned. Families grieved their lost loved ones, while officials vowed to improve aviation safety. A candlelight vigil was held near the crash site as the names of the victims were read aloud. Heartbreaking tributes poured in from across the country, highlighting the devastating impact of the disaster. Government officials addressed the public, promising changes to prevent future accidents. "We are committed to ensuring the safety of all air passengers. Lessons must be learned and policies must be strengthened," declared an aviation authority spokesperson. Conclusion. Aviation has long been one of humanity's greatest achievements, but it is not without risk. The tragedy of January 29, 2025, serves as a solemn reminder of the importance of vigilance, coordination, and technological advancement in air travel. This documentary not only honors the lives lost, but also highlights the lessons learned from this devastating accident. We remember those we lost and salute the bravery of the responders who fought to save lives. As we move forward, we must ask ourselves, how do we ensure such a disaster never happens again? The answers may shape the future of aviation safety for years to come.